Nobody watched the 5G episode. That's okay.
They don't want to know.
They don't want to know. They'll find out.
It's too real.
They'll find out the hard way.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about geoengineering.
Okay. What is that?
It is engineering the planet.
Mm.
The weather modification.
Okay.
Okay. Most people think this is fake. Weather modification, geoengineering, chemtrails, right? Chemtrails are fake. Everybody, oh, chemtrails. Dude, listen. If you look at NASA or any of the aerospace companies like Virgin Air, like all these companies are doing stratospheric aerosol injection programs right now, and their whole thing is that they're trying to curb climate change, right? The climate is changing, right? We have man-made climate change right now, and the only thing we can do about it is spray the atmosphere with nanoparticulates of heavy metals, silver, aluminum, right? So that they can reflect the solar radiation from warming us up. To help cool down the planet, to slow down global warming.
Really cold here this past month.
So that's what they say they're doing?
Yeah. That's not the conspiracy. This is the facts.
They are doing that.
The facts are.
But it's the effects that it's having on us.
You gotta stop touching it.
I can't. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Just put this up and then tilt the mic down so that it's not. There you go. So it's not
cord
next to you.
problem.
There you go. Yeah, no, there's no question. I mean, there's questions for millions of people because everybody still thinks that it's a conspiracy theory.
Right.
That they're spraying stuff in the atmosphere, even though we've all seen it every day.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, once you are kind of more aware of it, you really see it. Because I knew I've seen that, but now I'm like, it's just weird. Like you'll see planes just literally shooting straight up into the air, not even what you'd think a regular plane would be doing, if it had people
Those are
in
the
it.
drones.
What?
There's different, okay, so there's multiple, okay, here's the problem, right? If you point to I could point to a multitude of different geoengineering projects that are happening right now. The problem is that there's so many of them, right? It's not one program. This is not the government's doing this. No, this is multiple different corporations are doing this, multiple governments around the world are doing this. This is happening by a lot of people. They're spraying a lot of different molecules and chemicals into the air. You know, the sky is their laboratory. That's a quote from NASA. Okay, so, but no, the problem is that there's so many. So I could point to the stratospheric aerosol injection programs, the SAI. So look that up. Look up SAI programs.
So what are the drones?
The drones are just another one of the programs. They have drones that spray. They have commercial planes that spray. They have private jets that spray. There's different fleets of aircraft that spray different things for different corporations, you know. But there are drones that are spraying, you know what I mean? It's not all man-flown flights.
Yeah.
You know, there are unmanned flights.
That makes sense, because they look we were driving and Levi was like, look, a rocket, and it was just going straight up into the air, leaving those chemtrails, and there was another one. There's literally 5 all in the same little area.
Right.
Just
those are the ones that go straight up. Those are the barium. Those are releasing barium high up in the atmosphere. Okay, so you'll notice we'll have days where you won't see any chemtrails or any clouds. You'll see perfectly blue sky days, right?
Yeah.
Not a single cloud in the sky. And you'll see literally the next day it'll be hazy, and then the next maybe 2 days after that it'll just be grids of chemtrails. You know what I mean? And this is a pattern. This happens, right? So once I figured this out, once I read into this pattern, I've noticed the pattern now, and the pattern exists. So now you'll notice it. So the barium, the ones you're talking about that Levi saw, these drones they go high up into the atmosphere, they release this barium, right? And this barium is kind of like priming the canvas. It's blanking the slate for these other chemicals that are coming in on the next, spraying cycle, okay? So this barium, they're nano as well. So people think, it'll come down. These particles are so small, okay, that they float in the jet streams and in the atmospheres and in the rising and the falling of the cold and the warm. These particles just float in the atmosphere for a long time. So they prime the clean skies, essentially, with this barium, so that in 2 to 3 days when they come and they spray like this silver iodide or like the aluminum particles, depending on what their program is doing, it's a chemical reaction that happens, right? And that chemical reaction either can seed clouds, cause more clouds or have clouds to have more precipitation, or they can spray to cause droughts. They can dry out the sky as well.
Interesting.
So it depends on what they're spraying. So if they're spraying, this is another problem too. Okay, let's think about this for a second. And we can look this up too if we want, but they know how to cloud seed. Cloud seeding is a fact. Anybody can look this up. They know how to seed a cloud and create precipitation. Why is there massive amounts of wildfires in California right now?
Yeah.
If they can create rain, which they've done,
right, then why not?
look up Project Popeye. Project Popeye in Vietnam, anybody can look this up, Vietnam, Project Popeye, the government was seeding clouds to cause monsoons in Vietnam, okay? And this was happening in the 60s, they were doing this stuff. So they know how to cause monsoons. They can make it rain all day long, or dry it out all day long. Yeah. And somehow California is burning away.
Do you think they're purposely drying
100%.
it out?
Yeah, it's all part of the Agenda 21, get people out of the areas that we want to make our zones or our districts,
Crazy.
Operation Popeye. Project controlled the weather. Military cloud seeding carried out by the U.S. Air Force during Vietnam War, 1967 to 72. Highly classified program attempted to extend the monsoon season over specific areas. They wanted to, they were using it for war. Well, it's been passed by the United Nations now. There's actually a law that says that no country can use weather modification as an act of war. So why would there be a law?
Why would they even need to say that if
why would there be a law
possible?
from the United Nations if it wasn't possible? So right here, I'm going to just lay it out. Chemtrails are real. Anybody who wants to question me ever again on chemtrails, we can have the debate. But I'm telling you right now, don't make yourself look like an idiot, okay? Especially online, because even if you delete it, it doesn't go away. There's ways to have this information forever, okay? Don't look like an idiot online and tell me chemtrails aren't real ever again, right? This goes for everybody, because they're real. So now the real question is, what all are they spraying?
Yeah,
right?
And how does it affect us?
How does it affect us? Not just us, but the plants. Because the plants, man, people don't think about that. We were talking about this with the 5G.
Man.
The plants, man, the trees, man. But we talked about this with the 5G. Yeah, there's all kinds of consequences about whatever with our health.
Right.
Cancer, whatever. But what happens to the plants? What happens if the food chain collapses because of these things?
Yeah.
The bees, what happens if the bees get affected by the stuff that they're spraying?
Well, they might already be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're like disappearing, aren't they?
You want to know something interesting? You want to connect a few dots here? This is Creamer's favorite part.
Okay.
This is the best part. This is where we lead it up to Bill Gates. You guys ready?
I'm about to Google something about him right now.
I'm just gonna save you the time. Ready? Okay, Monsanto, right? Monsanto, which is now owned by Bayer. Monsanto has the patent on aluminum-resistant plants. Look it up if you think I'm lying.
Why would a plant need to be aluminum resistant?
Right. Monsanto has the patent for aluminum-resistant plants. Aluminum is one of the main things that they spray.
Right.
Okay, people have done thousands of tests around the world. This is a fact. The aluminum is one of the things that they're spraying. Bill Gates funds the SRM, the solar radiation management that we're talking about, the spraying the atmosphere. Bill Gates is one of the biggest funders and pushers. He's the sugar daddy of geoengineering.
Yeah.
Okay? And you can look that up, right? And he's also hanging out and buddy and tossing money at people like Monsanto and Bayer. Bayer's a medicine company. Monsanto was doing the GMOs. So they're going to be literally causing the sickness, offering you the medicine while doing the spraying at the same time. Like
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
I really do.
Bill Gates, he's Dr. Evil, man. Have we done one episode where we have not connected with Dr. Bill Gates?
We should.
We've literally, he's come into every episode.
We should do, like, go until you can't go anymore on Bill Gates.
Go till you can't go anymore.
Just
on Bill
straight
Gates.
up.
How far can we go with Bill Gates? But here's the other thing: Bill Gates owns the farmland, Monsanto, farming,
and probably all the farm
geoengineering,
land products that can't, or that have the aluminum protection on.
One day in the future,
so he still has food.
They know that the aluminum is going to kill the plants. Monsanto has the patent for the aluminum resistant plants. They're going to keep spraying aluminum. They don't care if the plants die because they have plants that can withstand this.
Yeah.
So sometime in the dystopian future, they're going to have these.
We got what you need over
The
here.
only thing that'll be able to eat, it's like a freaking movie. Remember like the movie where like the women couldn't get pregnant anymore, everybody was infertile, and there was no babies? You know what I mean? I think there was one where the farming ended. Well, this was in Interstellar, right? The farming was done, everybody was trying to figure out the farming. Dude, the crops are gonna die. The Monsanto Bayer is gonna come save the day.
Yeah.
Because we've got the aluminum resistant GMO plants already.
Here it is, man.
What are we looking
So I was on. Okay, so here it is, and you'll have to repeat this for them. I was looking on Harvard because they've got studies and projects on geoengineering. They actually have a geoengineering department.
Harvard has a geoengineering department
And research program.
and research program.
Question. Did Bill Gates go to college, and where did he go to college? Just curious. Did he go to Harvard?
That I don't know, but I know he funds the
More
Professor Keefe.
Yes.
Is that what you're getting at?
No.
Okay.
So I was looking at that, right? Their engineering. Then I was looking at their projects, and they have this stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment called ScopeX.
ScopeX, yeah.
As soon as I saw ScopeX, I said, that sounds like something Bill Gates would be into. So then I clicked on, so then I just Googled ScopeX Bill Gates, and Forbes put out an article titled, "A Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun." And this is from 10 days ago.
What could go wrong?
10 days ago.
We are on the topics, dude.
I'm telling you.
We're relevant.
I'm trying to tell you guys something here, man.
Here it is, dude.
Okay.
If you would just
And here's the chemical he
look
wants
at
to spray.
I want you to look at it.
just look at it.
Here's the.
Okay, listen. Here's what he just told me, because I know you guys can't hear what Creamer just said. Harvard. Well, there's a couple things. Harvard has the geoengineering program. Okay. There's a lot of people at Harvard that are all about solar radiation management. People have to remember this. Solar radiation management. SRM.
Well, there's two of them actually.
There's a lot of them.
They have SRM, and they've got, where did it go? CDR, carbon dioxide removal.
Yes. There's two different programs for the climate change problem. Okay, this is not a debate on if there is or isn't climate change. If you want my honest opinion on this thing, I believe there is man-made climate change. I just don't believe that it's you, me. It's not us driving around in our cars. It's these assholes spraying shit in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the cause the problem, offer the solution. Okay?
Yeah, right.
They're doing the man-made climate change and telling us that it's man-made climate change. So they're not lying to us.
Yeah, they're just
They're manipulating
the words.
Here's the problem. We're all in a really bad relationship. Okay, let's break this down for a second. Okay, let's say you're dating or you're with somebody, right? And they lie to you all the time, right? They just constantly lie to you, right? But every time that you start to question them for lying to you, or you get on to them about lying to you, they'll turn it around. They'll try to manipulate it and make it a good thing. There's a reason for this. You know what I mean? This isn't me being bad. You're just not understanding what's going on. This is a very manipulative, negative relation. This is a toxic relationship we're in with the government.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do about it? You know what I mean? This ain't a game, dude. They're spraying stuff in the sky right now. Anyways, what he was saying was Forbes put out the article 10 days ago saying that Bill Gates has this crazy plan to spray the atmosphere to block out the sun to help curb global warming or climate change or whatever term they're using now for, this agenda.
Yeah.
Dude, they've been doing this for 100 years. You can go back, 1916 was the first time somebody seeded a cloud. You know what I mean? They've known how to do this for 100 years. So this is not new, and people have been talking about it.
And if they've been doing it that long, then why couldn't they have made it seem like we have global warming, like you said, create the problem?
What's the word for that?
Offer the solution.
You know the word for that? There's a philosophical term for when you cause the problem and then you offer the solution to the problem.
I don't know that word.
There's a term, man, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Anyways, that's what they're doing. Okay.
If you know the answer, put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. But solar radiation management, man. It's going to come down to, they're going to try to convince the world, mark my words, you heard it here first, okay? Jeff Fernandez speaking the truth. One day in the near future, they're going to try to justify how we need and how it's a good idea for us to block the sun. That's what they want to do. They want to dim the sun. Okay? Think about it. Spray particles to block the sun so we don't have global warming. They're going to try to convince humanity that blocking our own sun
So what is it, just
is
going
a
to be
good
extra
idea.
cold then?
Dude, who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
To death?
I don't trust these people. Do you?
Yeah,
No. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
A global cooling effect.
Microsoft.
How cool.
Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates is financially backing the development of sun-dimming technologies that would potentially reflect the sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, triggering a global cooling effect. The stratospheric controlled perturbation experiment, SCOPEX, I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that, launched by Harvard University scientists, aims to examine this solution by spraying non-toxic calcium carbonate into the atmosphere, a sun-reflecting aerosol that may offset the effects of global warming. So now they're trying to say, we're going to test this, and we're going to do it with a non-toxic thing, right? Because Bill Gates might be crazy. This might be crazy. That's what the article's basically saying. This might be a little bit out of the, but we're going to try it with a non-toxic thing.
Right.
Really. So for the last 10, 20 years, all the conspiracy theorists that have been talking about you guys spraying shit in the atmosphere, they were all wrong. And then all of a sudden, this is a billionaire's idea that just comes out of it. Dude, come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on. This is the thing, too. This is why, like we can all see this. Okay,
yeah.
We can talk about 5G. We can't see the 5G. We can talk about reptilians. We can't see reptilians. We can talk about Saturn worship. We can't actually see and verify. We can't ask these people some of these questions. But there's one thing that we can see every single day. And
more
that's
than
the
you even
chemtrails.
realize. It's like
Now,
once you get this kind of car, you see it everywhere. Once you start talking about a chemtrail, it's like you really realize how the sky, some days, like you said, it is full of them. It's like, it looks like it's a cloudy day, but it's just chemtrails. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, man. And you'll have skeptics, right? People who have, they make a living essentially debunking shit, right? Your fact checkers, your skeptics. Dude, they have all kinds of excuses of this. At first it was contrails. You can find news footage from the 80s of the news anchors trying to explain what a contrail was, because the conspiracy theorists are, new term, chemtrail, they're trying to justify this thing you're seeing. And they're like, this is a natural effect. The pressure is just right, and the altitude and the humidity levels, and there's condensation on the wings, and it causes this effect. And it's like, okay, listen, I'm not an idiot, all right? I actually read stuff. You know what I mean? I get what they're saying, and it's feasible, right? And you can see little trails behind planes. There are planes that go by, and you can see a trail that's an inch long from your perspective. And it dissipates, and it's gone. That's, in my opinion, probably, maybe not, I don't know. I don't want to go that deep yet. We're trying to get people into this, right? But those little trails, it's probably a contrail, a naturally occurring contrail. Those ones that linger for an hour, 2, 3 hours, and you see 8 of them, some of them going this way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not natural. I've seen the contrail right next to the chemtrail at the same time. So how could the pressures and all the things be different?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
Well, you think about how quickly the guy that writes Jesus loves you, by the time he gets to the S, the J-E is gone.
Yeah, the guy writing Jesus loves you in the sky, his
like,
dissipates
hurry up,
in like 10, 20 minutes.
The first letter is already disappearing.
These chemicals that they're spraying, now there's also, you can look this up as well, there's thousands of patents. This is the scary thing. The patent office, the people who work at the patent office, okay, they're just like you, they're just like me. These people aren't, no offense to these people, but they're nothing special. They're just regular people working at the patent office.
So rude, Jeffrey.
These corporations doing these aerosol spray programs, they are testing every combination of chemicals and minerals and molecules you can probably think of to see what they can do with weather modification, okay? It's gotten to the point where they file for so many patents on different combinations of aerosols and how to spray them that the patent office, they don't even go to the patent office anymore. They implement the program, the patent offices just let it ride because they can't comprehend the 40 different molecules that are being patented for this program because they're getting overwhelmed with this shit and they're doing it anyways.
Right.
Look into it.
Dude, we need to go on record here. You might have just blown the top off of this thing.
What?
Hold on a second, man. All right, so he wants to put calcium carbonate up in the air, right? I just looked up side effects for calcium carbonate, okay? And tell me this doesn't sound exactly like COVID-19.
Yeah, okay. Calcium carbonate, the particles, the non-toxic chemicals that they're going to spray in the atmosphere from Harvard.
And this is off of MichiganMedicine.org.
MichiganMedicine.org, no bullshit. The program Harvard wants to do, they're going to spray calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. Here are the side effects. Little or no urinating. Swelling, rapid weight gain, or high levels of calcium in your blood, nausea, vomiting, constipation, increased thirst, urination, muscle weakness, bone pain, confusion, lack of energy, or feeling tired. That could be you.
I know, I'm like, sounds like
That could be a whole bunch of us, dude. Everybody feels like that.
That could be everybody. Look up the side effects of what aluminum or what silver iodide does to you. Iodine does to you. So here's the thing, right?
I want to know, is that something that you can be tested for? And is there any other way to explain having high amounts of that?
Of what? Your
calcium, whatever that was.
carbonate?
Just curious.
Calcium
yeah,
carbonate?
like if they're going to be like, oh, you know. Like, is that
So
not something that people could normally just...
This is a Mark Zuckerberg thing. This explains a lot about Zuckerberg.
gray or blue discoloration of the skin, other tissues known as argyria.
I've actually seen an episode about this on Grey's Anatomy. Some guy started turning like blue, his skin, and they found out that he was taking some kind of like supplement that had silver in it. And anyways.
Here's what I'm going to do.
All of these somehow relate to a TV show that's like current
It's
on
predictive
TV
programming.
too. Yeah.
Remember this. Here's the thing about the predictive programming, because you say this at like every episode, right?
I need to like watch
MK
this
Ultra
TV.
program. The MK Ultra program happened at the same time that the television was released to the public. And it's also called television programming. The entire time that people have been watching TV, MK Ultra has been in effect. They've been controlling our minds through various sources, but the predictive programming, every show, not every show, because there's a lot of independent people, but you know, a lot of these big, you know, mainstream corporate movies and shows, of course, man, they're telling you. I don't know if it's because they're afraid of the karma. Maybe there's some space
Like,
Yeah, there's a space court.
Sort of warned
Yeah, there's a space court that's gonna, throw these people in the prison. I don't know what they're doing, but they're telling us that they're doing
find
it.
it amusing.
Yeah, they find it amusing. They're
Making
just
it
sick.
so obvious, but you still don't even
Listen,
get it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place blame right now. COVID-19 at the feet of all the assholes spraying shit in the air. You want to talk about respiratory disease, an infectious respiratory disease that's mutating all over the world right now? Super strains that we can't keep up with. We got vaccines that we've never even had before because we've had to come up with new types of mRNA vaccines. This shit is crazy, if you believe it. It's crazy. So I'm going to place the blame for this respiratory disease at the feet of the assholes who've been spraying the atmosphere for 70 years.
Yeah, why not?
Okay? Right? Where's my climate activists, man? I said this on the last episode that nobody watched for some reason. Where's my climate activists, man? All these people who were doing the protests and doing all the marching and all the stuff about all the world and humanity and we're all this and we're all that. Where are you now? Where are you with the chemtrails and the 5G, the stuff that's literally probably gonna kill us all soon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even to be, I don't want to be that guy that's like trying to freak everybody out, but dude, like, people tell me it's not real. You know what I mean? And it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like, why are people so quick to like dismiss it though?
Because
is it just too scary to think that
nobody thinks the government will do this to them. For some reason, they just think that the government is out for their benefit.
Government is Jesus, man.
The government is Jesus, yeah. I don't know what happened or where people got this mentality from, but people somehow think that the government is here to help.
Yeah.
You know? It's ridiculous, man. We're reading about fires. Look, like I was talking about earlier, California fires.
Yeah.
How many people died in those fires? How many businesses? How many houses? How many billions of dollars have been, allocated to this disaster,
man,
this natural disaster? Okay.
Exactly what you're saying right now.
British scientists have cited stratospheric aerosols from volcanic eruptions in Alaska and Mexico as the potential cause of drought in Africa's Sahel region.
So if it can do that from a volcano, just the ash.
They've been doing this, again, NASA's quote, "The sky is our laboratory." So they are doing things like this volcano. They can cause drought, they can steer hurricanes. Okay, here we go. You ready for this? 9/11 happened, they passed the Patriot Act. Katrina happened, they passed a whole bunch of FEMA shit where they could hand over power to FEMA and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They knew how to steer hurricanes, dude. They've known how to steer hurricanes since the 30s. You can look this up right off the coast of Jacksonville.
So you're saying that they let that happen or made that happen so that they can get
100%. I'll be the guy who says that Katrina, that was a steered hurricane, or at least it wasn't steered out of the way.
Yeah.
And they had the ability to, because they knew that this disaster could happen, and then they could pass all these laws that could never get through before. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what they did. You know how I know that? In the 30s, right off the coast of Jacksonville, 80 miles, they did a test. Can we steer a hurricane? And they flew a plane through the hurricane and they sprayed their shit in the eye wall of the hurricane. And that hurricane literally did a 180, doubled back, and it hit Georgia. It killed like 100 people. The people actually blamed the government. This wasn't a secret. This was not...
Well, yeah, we made it turn around and go with
this was not a
direction.
secret. The government didn't even cover this up. This was known to the people in the 30s. But again, we're all dumb as shit now. Nobody cares. Everybody just wants the new 5G iPhone. What are we reading here? David Keith, who's the asshole that Bill Gates funds, has proposed the creation of a risk pool to compensate smaller nations for collateral damage caused by such tests. But such a payout might be a little comfort to those displaced by
what the heck?
Unlivable conditions. The United States, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia blocked a 2019 UN assessment of global geoengineering plans. International cooperation will be required to assess the risks, winners, and losers of any such experiment, and how best to proceed with all in mind. This is a globalist
So it's like,
agenda.
we're gonna use your little area to like test some things with the weather, but we're gonna pay you, so you'll have like A little shopping money.
Here we go. Agent
Maybe
Orange.
it won't be so bad.
You guys heard of Agent Orange?
Sort of.
Defoliant, used in Vietnam. They sprayed this shit all over the jungles.
Oh yeah. My grandpa had that and died later with complications
I know.
from that. Yeah.
I probably know 10 people whose like grandfather, somebody, Agent Orange something, right? Agent Orange was a defoliant that they were spraying out of planes across the jungles to get, it's a defoliant. It was to get rid of the foliage so they could find the North Vietnamese. And now, even today, there are people born with 5 legs and 2 heads and extreme abnormalities and cancers and all this shit over there because of Agent Orange. And over here too, some people because of the soldiers and shit, right? So this is but that's what they're talking about here. There might be risks to your nation, so we'll pay you some money, right? Like you're saying. You might end up Agent Oranged. You're gonna end up Agent Oranged by Bill Gates.
Not
but we're gonna pay you. Don't worry,
will.
Gates has got a little bit of cash. He'll throw you some money afterwards. Don't worry about it.
And you're a poor country, so you know a little money goes a long way.
How many coincidences until it's not a coincidence anymore?
It's honestly crazy how much Bill Gates ties in to everything. Like everything.
In the 90s, the jet stream, the airflow, you know, there's jet streams that go around the planet, right? That bring this hot or cold air, depending on, right? Just like the Gulf Stream, it's just in the air. It's the jet stream. In the 90s, the jet stream reversed. It took a 180, and there was massive droughts in California and fires and tornadoes and shit all over the place. And it was wild, right? And then it magically flipped back around and started going the other way. Okay. At the same time that happened, when it initially flipped, HARP, right? HARP. You're familiar with HARP? Okay, we'll have to get into HARP one day. Government project was being done. Okay, they were firing. I'm not sure if they were firing microwaves or what waves exactly they were firing at the ionosphere, but they were heating up the ionosphere, and they were bouncing these waves off of it, right, at different trajectories, doing different experiments. They were doing cloud seeding at the same time. There's a whole thing about, and they're doing this now. This is another thing to look up. I don't remember the exact name, but they're heating up the ionosphere right now, like ionosphere heaters or ionosphere microwaves all over the world. This is being done. It's not a conspiracy. It's something that they're doing to curb global warming. They're heating up the ionosphere to curb global warming. To what?
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye on the live stream. But,
That was a peace sign?
Yeah.
That was like 2 minutes.
Dude, do it.
it was like 2 comments, 2 likes, 2 viewers.
Oh, man. Got a lot of people in here.
I lost my train of thought.
Heating up the ionosphere.
Heating up the ionosphere to curb global
The
warming.
microwave.
How are you heating? Never mind. I don't want to get into it. I'm not a scientist.
Because they're causing the problem.
Right. So
So they can offer the solution.
you're looking up at the CDRs.
Yeah, I want to see
I don't have
what...
a problem with the CDR technology. The CDR is the carbon dioxide. Wait, it's the carbon.
Yeah, dioxide removal.
Carbon dioxide removal. CDR.
Why would they... Ooh, I can't stop yawning.
Actually,
my coffee's not kicking in.
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm having an epiphany as we're sitting here. Because at first I was like, I have no problem with the CDR, removing the carbon from the air. You know,
Changed your mind, eh?
there's companies building giant filtration systems to try to get the carbon out of the air. And at first I'm thinking this is okay, but right now I'm thinking carbon dioxide is plant food. So if they build enough scrubbers and they're good enough, could they starve the plants of food? Maybe that's too deep. I don't
Interesting.
know.
So they're saying,
I'm just
okay,
thinking.
what they're saying is they have to do that because there's so many people and so much pollution, so much carbon dioxide, not enough plants to like
3
clear
days
out
ago,
the air.
3 or 4 days
is
ago,
what they're saying.
Plant more trees.
Yeah, stop freaking tearing the trees down and we'll be fine.
Dude, I posted this.
Yeah, where's your Nobel Prize? Well, Elon Musk. He said that.
Musk, I'll give $100 million to the best carbon capture technology. Thanks, Elon. You're our hero. And it's like, dude, spend the $100 million and plant some fucking trees, dude.
Seriously.
Plant the Empress trees. It absorbs more carbon dioxide and produces more oxygen than any other plant in the planet. You can spend $100 million and you can set up places all over the world with huge Empress tree farms with $100 million. Nah, we're going to give it to somebody to build a carbon capture technology. You know what I mean? This is all bullshit, dude. Elon Musk, man, I used to be a big fan of Elon Musk. I used to love Elon, man. I used to think he was a white hat. I used to think he was on our team, or at least he wasn't on their team.
Yeah.
He's definitely on their team.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. I'm waiting for, like, the big juicy nugget that I can use to just, like, put all the dots together with Elon.
It's like once you start getting the money,
Mm-hmm.
you're like one of those big money
The thing is,
players
Elon
and-
is smart. He's the smart one, I think. He's the one who's not just... I don't know. He's smarter.
Not so much of a puppet.
Yeah. He might be doing some
His own
his own thing. He's his own Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's definitely part of the program.
He wants to be the next Bill Gates, but better, possibly.
So, I don't know.
That
Any
doesn't seem bad. I just don't know the science behind it.
What?
The carbon
That's what I was saying.
removal. It seems innocuous, except
At first, it sounds really good. Remove the carbon from the air.
Yeah.
I'm behind that. But there is the little part of me that's questioning it still. It's like, maybe there's got to be something fishy there. I don't know, but
There's always
but they don't want to
downside
do
to
it.
everything. I
They
think.
don't want to get us off of the oil. See, here's the thing.
Or maybe that's their thing to make it sound like it's not so bad.
You can't.
What they're doing.
You can't get us off oil and get us onto solar. Solar power is everything. I mean, solar power powers life. Without the sun, there would be no life. Solar power is life, okay?
And the future. But they're gonna dim the sun.
They're dimming the sun. Thank you, Jade. Thank you. We're never gonna get solar power because they're dimming the sun, man.
Oh, actually, keep going.
Where am I going?
About dimming the sun. I got something for you.
There was another part to that too that I was just about to rage about. They're gonna dim
Good
the
job
sun.
for interrupting.
Sorry.
The solar. I don't remember. Whatever. I don't remember. Damn.
Sorry.
Anyways, China has successfully activated its so-called artificial sun, a nuclear fusion reactor that could fuel its energy ambitions for years to come. Okay, I actually said this. I didn't have a podcast like 5 years ago. But like 5 years ago, I was talking to somebody and I was like, dude, I guarantee you as part of the disclosure, the alien disclosure, the top technology disclosure shit, right? All that hidden tech that everybody wants. The fusion tech. I even said this. I was like, the fusion tech is going to be like one of the big things. And dude, the artificial sun, man, the fusion tech.
What does it do though?
Who knows, man?
It's
probably
a giant
bullshit.
fusion reactor. So most of the reactors we do are fission. That's splitting apart a molecule. But now they're making,
Fusion reactors.
I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Switches on.
We could all be having free energy, so I'm not impressed. Tesla figured out free energy, and they took it. So
China's artificial sun is 6 times hotter than the actual sun.
I mean, lightning's like 1,000 times hotter than the sun.
Yeah, but to have that sustained?
True. So here's another thing about the chemtrails. Let's go a little deeper. So we know the chemtrails are real. Have you ever heard of directed energy weapons?
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of theories about directed energy weapons.
Yeah, that's
And here's what it
crazy.
sounds like. You take energy in whatever form and you direct it.
Oh, so
Weapon.
it's listening. It knew.
Yeah, it's listening.
It knew.
There's multiple forms of directed energy weapons that are in service now. The most popular that everybody probably knows is the sound shit, right? Everybody's seen like the sonic, non-lethal anti-riot weapons. Have you seen these before?
No.
They had them on like TV all throughout like the early 2000s.
Yeah, call them ball cookers. It's like microwaves.
Ball cookers,
They just
yeah.
microwave
They're
you.
microwaving you. They're literally hitting you with high frequency shit. It's supposed to be really loud, right? It's like these high frequencies that they're hitting you with high voltage.
Oh no, that's the sound one.
Well, there's different ones.
They also have a micro. They'll actually cook you.
The cookers.
It gets so hot you can't even be next to it.
They have lasers.
It's long range microwaves.
They've got lasers. You're looking at the website.
This is Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, Lockheed Martin. They got the go to Lockheed Martin's website. Anybody who questions directed energy weapons, just go to Lockheed Martin's website, and all over the freaking website is just nothing but laser beams coming off of destroyers and Raptor jets.
Look,
and
I told you
Humvees.
it's the Force.
Directed energy
It
weapons.
says it's a Force multiplier.
Invisible detection.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they just.
Yeah. They just lased him. You can't see the laser. They just cooked his engine. Didn't see it. So some people have the theory that the Twin Towers on 9/11 were taken down with directed energy weapons. I'm not going to go there. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. That's another episode. But what you can do with directed energy weapons, okay? If you're spraying nanoparticulates of heavy metals like aluminum or silver, okay, into the atmosphere. Now they're essentially one with the molecular structure of the air, okay? You can pass current, frequency, all these things through the air much easier, okay? They can legit, okay, now this is going to sound crazy, but you can look into this. They can pass these frequencies to directed energy weapons. They can cause the fires on the specific areas. There are pictures of these fires that are happening in California and all over the world where it's very odd that big steel structures or whole city blocks of buildings are gone, melted, destroyed.
Yeah, like one of the big fires
trees.
was caused by some gender reveal party.
Right, but you'll see trees in these pictures. You'll see trees standing, living trees, not burnt. While everything around them are burnt. It's
so
almost
are
as
you
if
saying that they just like choose what?
I'm saying with 5G,
and they didn't just like set the fire.
they're using millimeter wave technology, microwaves, with 5G, so they can pump a microwave in any direction they want, along with this nanoparticulate of metals in the air all around us right now. They can direct this laser beam, Lockheed Martin, wherever they want. Legit wherever they want. If they want a fire to start right outside of your freaking door, they can make it happen. You know what I mean? If they want a wildfire to start in a specific county in California, they can make it happen.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy. This is where we're getting into the deep levels of maybe who the fuck knows type shit.
Well, then imagine that this kind of energy can be dispersed across the particles. Right? So if you got no atmospheric intervention, it's just a direct beam. But if you got this dispersed over a large, theoretically, you could spread that over a city block if there's enough particulate in the air. Or ignite a whole city block.
You could laser beam a whole freaking state if you focused it right and had all your spraying right and everything.
But I'm saying if there was something even slightly combustible in the air,
So aluminum.
It's so many Star Wars references in my head right now.
Aluminum dioxide. Aluminum dioxide is a patented fire accelerant. They spray it out of planes.
Really?
California's on fire. They can create water. They don't put the fires out with the rain they can create.
Because California is like the most liberal.
It has nothing to do with that.
You don't think so?
No, it has nothing to do with
No, I
that.
feel like it kind of does.
Nope.
Because it's like you get these people like so scared of global warming and all this because the fires and it's like
Oh
we
yeah,
all,
they activate
on
the
board.
activists.
It has nothing to do with that.
You don't think?
Nope, because they're doing the same shit everywhere. Republicans or Democrats. That's why I'm saying same with the 5G. This is not, like a red state, blue state type shit.
Well, not
This
even
is
that, but like certain people that are more likely to care about that live in certain states.
The
Republican
reason,
or not, they kind of all.
No, I think that is mostly just because of celebrity bullshit and media manipulation of people, right?
Yeah.
The reason that a place like California is so blue, in my opinion, is because so many high-profile actors and celebrities and musicians and fucking you name it, they all live there.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Make that one of the places that it's happening a lot.
I mean-
and then it just is more, everyone's more aware
Mhm.
because the celebrities are all talking
Well,
about
also,
it.
nobody cares about what they can't see.
But what I'm saying is I don't
Yeah.
think that was designed, I don't think that has anything to do with these programs at all.
It's just a
You know?
cherry on top.
It's just the cherry on
Yeah,
top.
right.
Yeah, you know, it's not, again,
Well, yeah, they're going to do them regardless.
we're getting sprayed here. This is a red state. We're getting sprayed.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with what party you align with, and
Yeah,
which is
we're
why I
just
wish
not having...
Joe Biden
major
talks about
wildfires.
unity. Okay, here's the thing: we're going into this new political era, right? This new time in America. We got a new president, we got a new House, a new Senate. Everybody's all geared up and ready to go. We're signing executive orders. We're getting shit done, right? I'm not a
Using
dictator.
pen after pen after pen.
Right, but that's not the point. Here's the real point, right? We want unity, right? Let's have some unity, everybody. Let's unify and start questioning these people about the fucking 5G and the chemtrails. 5G and the chemtrails. Do the research, give me independent research. There's not enough independent research on any of this stuff. Other countries know. You can look up, I think Holland, there's a few countries who have banned stratospheric spraying. And there's a few other countries who have banned 5G. Because they've done the
As they
independent
should.
research and they know what it can do to people. The county where most of the people who work in Silicon Valley, okay, there's like billionaire executives who work in Silicon Valley, telecom executives specifically. Telecom executives are the ones who are making the money off of the 5G. Guess what they banned in their county? Guess what's not being
What?
erected in the county
What?
where the telecom executives live? Guess what's not
I
being
have
erected?
no idea.
The 5G cells. Go look it up.
That's-
They're banned in that county. Why would they ban it in their own county?
Yeah,
If it's
they should be
safe.
super pro.
Come on, people, do your research, man.
Dude.
Um,
You know, see, when Katrina happened, people were like, "You can't see the cloud. That's not possible. That's some GI Joe stuff. There's no chemtrails being sprayed on the NCBI or whatever this is. This is a .gov. This is their actual like environmental health brief from 2017. Space mirrors, aerosols out of planes, cloud seeding.
Yeah.
Carbonate addition. So actually throwing addition of ground limestone.
Through the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
everything.
Go to type this in. Type NASA.
Burning the
People at home.
burning and burial of carbonaceous
Okay, class. Here's what we're gonna do,
agricultural
class.
waste.
Pull out your phones.
pull out your laptops.
Here, go to Google, and everybody type
HTTPS.
NASA. This is just a Google search. We're gonna type these terms. NASA, right? Stratospheric.
NASA.
Alright, this is gonna be a hard one. You guys are gonna have to use your brain. Stratospheric, sound it out.
No, they won't have to. Google will guess it for
Aerosol
them.
injections. NASA stratospheric aerosol injections. And you're gonna scroll down, you're gonna hit enter, and you're gonna scroll down to a result. The link is nasa.tv. Okay, specifically. You're gonna look specifically for the nasa.tv link. This is a link to nasa.tv where they can show you all their cool little presentations and the scientists show you cool shit and you get stuff from the International Space Station and blah de blah de blah. Where are we at here? Oh, I think you passed it. Go up.
ICTV.
Wait.
NASA doc.
That one. NASA.gov. Sorry, but when you click on it, it brings you to nasa.tv.
This is just a fact sheet.
Atmospheric aerosols.
There it is. up
What
at the
are
top.
they and why are they so
NASA
important?
TV.
From NASA in what? 1996.
Y'all said Alex Jones was crazy.
You guys said Alex Jones was crazy, man. Wait, you want to go back further in time? Type this in. 1913 cloud seeding.
After this, let's talk about the smart meters.
Okay, we'll talk about
Because I
smart.
think a lot of people.
Yeah, I could be wrong. It might be 1916, but it's sometime
Yeah, 1960.
1916. Okay.
Rain promised, blood followed.
San Diego, Hatfield.
Oh.
The San Diego County, okay, they were having a drought. They needed rain. So they approached Hatfield. Hatfield, okay, he sprayed shit into the sky and he seeded some clouds and torrential downpours happened. And it was so bad, I think people died, there was like millions of dollars of damage and shit. The county came after him and they fined him after. So they pushed him to do this project, this experiment. He seeded a cloud, it worked, and then they fined him.
Because he couldn't control how good it worked.
That's the first time on record that there's cloud seeding, 1916.
Wow. That's
So,
crazy.
boom. Boom. Okay, we got a new term, right? You got your anti-vaxxers, right? You got your anti-this, your anti-this. How about your anti-chemtrailers? Anti-chemtrailers, man. That's what I'm going to start calling you guys. All you who think that the chemtrails are fake, you're anti-SRMs. Actually, not even that. You're actually racist. Here's why. Because if you don't believe in chemtrails, it means you don't support the SRM programs of them spraying. I don't care. People get pissed, dude. I'm pissed already. You are racist if you don't believe in chemtrails. Because if you don't believe in chemtrails, you're not promoting the chemtrail programs to block the sun, to stop climate change, which, according to the scientists, climate change inherently affects black and brown people more than anybody else on this planet. So if you don't believe in chemtrails, you are a racist. Fight me.
Well, also, the U.S. military sprayed St. Louis in the ghettos with all those chemicals, too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. St. Louis getting sprayed, and that was, what, in the 60s, I think?
Yeah.
Yes. The government sprayed St. Louis with chemicals in the 60s, and they all had cancer now and shit, right? They're all dying of all kinds of fucked up stuff. So...
Dude, I can't believe this, dude. San Diego City Council agreed to pay Charles Hatfield, who preferred to call himself a moisture accelerator, $10,000. In 1916, 10 grand you could buy a state. Mm-hmm. If he could fill Lake Morena. So he, I guess, seeded a cloud to try to fill the lake. And he flooded the whole city.
In 1916, San Diego County offered Charles Hatfield 10 grand to fill up a lake. Okay, because he claimed that he could fill up the lake.
He wasn't paid a dime.
He wasn't paid a dime because he overfilled the lake. Caused a problem, Charles. Okay.
Solved a problem, caused a difference.
So, cloud seeding is real, chemtrails are real. Smart meters.
Smart meters.
Smart meters.
You got one.
You got one. Everybody needs to check if you have a smart meter. If you didn't watch the 5G episode, go watch it, man. Or go do your own homework. I don't care. But, like, that's important because the frequencies, the microwaves, the EMF radiation, the ELF radiation, all these different types of radiation that are coming off of all these things, like, it's detrimental to not just our health, but like our DNA, right? We read about this. The DNA strands breaking, the cell membranes, not being able to heal themselves and breaking, like, not good. So if you've got a smart meter on your house, which is the new fancy, and what'd you say, you could check your...
Yeah, it's like kind of more like real-time data where you can go onto like the app for Duke Energy and see, I could go look and see what my energy usage was for yesterday.
So you can know like what your bill's going to be every day.
So you can be like, oh, yesterday I did kind of high, so I'm going to blah, 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 go
super
less
convenient.
today.
Thousands of studies link biological effects to RF radiation, radio frequency radiation exposure, including increased cancer risk, damage to the nervous system, adverse reproductive effects, DNA damage, and more. The top public health official in Santa Cruz County, California, prepared this report.
Confirming
smart meters pose health risk. I thought that was already.
Confirming it.
No, that's the thing.
Not good.
Your cell phone, when you buy a new cell phone, I know nobody reads the booklet that you get with your new devices. Everybody just gets their shit, they open it, they plug it in, and they use it, right? I do it too. But if you look on that booklet, okay, it specifically says don't put the phone next to your head. How are you supposed to make a phone call?
Speakerphone.
Okay, this is real stuff. So your smart meter, what it's doing is it's collecting real-time data for your usage, and it's conveniently communicating that data to the nearest cell tower. Okay, and then that's how it gets uploaded to the internet, and then you have the information. The problem is it's communicating that data directly to the nearest cell tower. which means that it's blasting your area with these radio frequencies. And not only radio frequencies, they're smart meters. Remember in episode 1 we talked about Agenda 21, and I said they're going to start rolling shit out, and they're going to start calling it the Smart Cities Initiatives, and everything's going to be smart this, smart that, blah, 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 blah. Your smart meter is communicating using millimeter waves, just like 5G, so you get the fastest, most accurate, less latency. That's what your smart meter is using. Pretty soon your fridge will have the same RF frequencies. Your toaster, your coffee pot, every single electronic device that we interact with will be on this new frequency. This is not just like going from razor phones to smartphones. Yeah. This is going from one frequency, one wave. Okay, here's one way to look at this. AM frequencies. I don't know the exact size of the wave of an AM frequency, but it's like 1,000 feet tall. That's how big an AM frequency wave is. An FM frequency is like 10 or 12 feet tall. These are millimeter frequencies. They're tight, packed frequencies moving very fast. Okay, so they're extremely powerful. Right. So this is affecting your cells, your DNA, the frequency vibration of your body. Right. This is not a chill FM radio signal that we can cope with. You know what I mean? So that's what your smart meter's doing. It's communicating, and you're getting blasted.
It's killing me.
So call Duke, tell them to turn it off.
Yeah. I hope that they can.
A lot of counties, I haven't looked up here, but look up your county. Look and see if you can opt out of your smart meter, because in a lot of places it's not mandatory. You don't have to have the smart meter. They just hooked it up out of convenience.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I didn't ask for it.
Right.
They just came.
They just came and they hooked it up out of
like,
convenience.
okay.
You can opt out of the smart meter, so you're not getting blasted with the RF frequencies. You know what I mean? And you can get your bill like you've been getting it the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Who cares? It's going to be the same no matter what. If you see it today or you see it when it comes, it's going to cost the same amount. You don't have to look at it in real time all the time.
Yeah. Crazy. Real crazy.
Yep. How long are we at? How long has it been?
57 minutes.
57 minutes. We've
Got
got
like a
3
good
minutes.
Time. We know when it's.
Yeah, we know when it's an hour. I know when it's an hour because I start getting a little bit pasty because I'm all what's up now. You know what I mean? I'm all ready to run, But
oh man. Does it say anything else interesting about the smart meters on there?
It's a good read, but
I want to make a challenge. Okay, let's have some fun, man. I know a few people will listen to this. I challenge anybody to change my mind. Right? Let's use that. Change my mind. Right? Chemtrails are real, and 5G, the whole 5G chemtrail thing. To me, this is the most important thing in our time. I don't give a shit who the president is. I don't give a shit about any of these things, man. We can go to war right now if you guys want. We can go to war with Iran. If that's what they want to do, we can do that. I don't care, because that's not the problem. The problem is what they're doing with the chemtrails in the 5G, right? Right. So I challenge anybody to just prove me wrong. Not even that I don't want you to. I hope you can, because it kind of freaks me out a little bit. You know what I mean? I want
it does.
Somebody come to me with something that I can dig into and say, oh, I've been wrong about the chemtrails, and I've been wrong about the 5G. Yeah. Right? I challenge them. That's it. That's all I got.
What do they win?
What do they win? I don't know.
A free Shadow Band t-shirt.
Yeah, you can get a shirt. I don't know. I'll buy you a lunch and...
Or a hat.
I don't know.
You guys can go have lunch underneath the 5G tower.
Yeah, we can go sit under the 5G tower and have a picnic.
Get microwaved.
And I'll rub your feet with whatever lotion you choose.
Oh my gosh.
That is your prize, if you can convince me. And I'll be honest, if you can convince me, I will.
Who wouldn't want that prize?
Oh,
no?
hold on a second. Hold on a second.
But you're not
I think I just... But
again, the smart thing, right? The smart this, smart that, smart this, smart that. It's going to be everywhere, so just be careful of that. Don't just go buying shit because it's a smart thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, really though, for example, the coffee maker that we have, they make new ones now that are smart, so they can connect to your phone. Because you need to start your coffee brew from your phone.
Man.
They have microwaves that are Bluetooth. So
Everything.
you can start the microwave from
That's
your
why.
phone.
That's why they're rolling out the 5G. That's why these telecom companies, these corporations, are making trillions. They're gonna make trillions on this. Don't be. The first trillionaires in human history are about to be made, and it's gonna be made in this space.
That is so stupid. You still have to watch the microwave and put something in there, so why can't you just push
Do you guys
the
use
buttons?
wireless earbuds?
But it's just, I just started, yeah.
I bought some.
That's
Here's
because
the
he
thing,
put
man.
mine in the washing machine.
My heart's a little bit broken because I love my wireless earbuds, man. They're so useful to me. I use them at work. I love them.
Yeah.
And now after digging into this stuff a little bit, I realize that what you're doing is you're literally, essentially putting your head in a microwave.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's everywhere, and it's just becoming more and more everywhere. Like, how many things in your house can you have just blasting you?
The low-level RF coming from utility meters are at the other end of the spectrum, away from X-rays. Still, this scientist said some experience symptoms from the exposure. We see most often sleep disturbances, anxiety, and agitation, headaches, migraines, ringing in the ears, dizziness, balance problems. You mix those...
I legit get that whenever...
Wait, hold up. You mix those with the ones from the calcium carbonate, and you mix that with the silver
you got COVID.
You have all of the symptoms of COVID. Again, I will place the blame of COVID at the feet of those who spray our atmosphere with this shit.
And give us the smart meters.
I'll fight Bill Gates for charity.